Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
Well, during Prime Minister's questions this week, one MP had an unusual request for Theresa May. Let's listen.
It's my daughter's 16th birthday on the 29th of March, and it's her generation that will be most impacted by Brexit. Perhaps the Prime Minister could give her an early birthday present and delay Brexit until she has informed the House as to the status of the police and NCA investigations after Vote Leave and Leave.eu were found guilty of corrupt activities by the Electoral Commission.
Well, Anna McMorrin, the Labour MP asking that question, joins us now live from Cardiff. I mean, a lot of 16-year-olds would say delaying Brexit was a pretty boring birthday present.
Yeah, I think she's asked for a number of other gifts as well. But do you know, she knows, as well as my other 18-year-old daughter knows, that the impact that this is going to have on her. And I know that as well, because the EU has hugely benefited our lives, my generation's lives. I've lived and worked in France, Spain and Belgium, but it cuts off a whole future for our generation, not only because of the impact on Brexit in this country, which is going to be huge, but it prevents travel, stops us being an open, inclusive, international country.
Do you think it was a mistake not to allow younger people? I mean, your daughter, she's only just 16, only your elder daughter would have got a chance to vote. Was it a mistake not to include them, given that this was a forward-looking decision?
Yes, absolutely. I'm really glad that in Wales, the Assembly government, the Welsh government and the Welsh Assembly elections we've got coming up soon will allow 16-year-olds to have a vote. That absolutely should be the case because it is that generation that is going to be affected and impacted by it. You know, neither of my daughters were able to vote in the referendum in 2016. It's them that's going to have the greatest impact on.
You highlighted the issues of election irregularities during the referendum campaign. Are you really persuaded that they made a difference to the outcome? I mean, it was a fairly large majority who voted to leave.
But it wasn't. In fact, it was a very...
Well, over a million people.
That's tiny with the amount of people who actually then went and voted. We know nearly 3 years on that a whole lot has changed, and I don't think most people who voted to leave then actually voted for the situation that we have now and the situation that Brexit is going to leave us in. But more than that, we know that there was corruption, there was lies, and there was fraud here. And it is wholly inappropriate to pursue this Brexit on that basis. We need to see that NCA investigation. We need to see what is going to be the result of that before we leave and before the impact of this is felt across our communities, across our economy, across impacting on family livelihoods, on jobs and on services. That's the biggest thing, and that's what I care about. I care about the people in my constituency who are going to be most impacted by this.
I mean, you do have a vote in Parliament this next few weeks with 21 days to go until Brexit. What are you going to do with your vote, and how do you think it's going to come out?
Well, I think this is nonsense about the Prime Minister or Geoffrey Cox actually getting anywhere with these negotiations. I've yet to see any evidence that they're any closer to getting any sort of deal. And anyway, the backstop, it's wholly wrong to think that it's just the backstop that is a problem with Brexit. I'll certainly be voting against the Prime Minister's deal. I'll then be voting for an extension, which I think we need. And then we need to put her deal back to the people for a final say. We need to put her deal to allow the people to have a confirmatory vote. Do they want this, or do they want the status quo? Because I think most people in the country actually want this just to go away. And in order for this to go away, we need to actually just vote it off the table, and for us to be continuing with the best membership, the best deal that we have, and that's as full members of the European Union.
Anna McMorrin, thank you very much indeed. I suspect your daughter would agree with you as well on that. Not always intergenerational harmony on display.